So he says, prophesy, because they prophesy out of their own heart, saying, hear the word of Yahweh. Ooh, they're prophesying out of their own hearts. And see, this is the challenge that's out there for all of us. We have an abundance of people out there, quote unquote, claiming they're prophesying. They don't use the word prophecy. They just claim that they're speaking the word of Yahweh with authority. And they're out there with YouTubes and blogs and vlogs, and websites and all these other things. And yet, do they really actually speak the word of Yahweh with authority? Have they been given that authority? And how do we know? Because clearly, if we look at not only this chapter, but in all the other places we've been reading up to this point, Yahweh does not appreciate people speaking out of the abundance of their own heart and claiming it's him. And so we have to be really careful. And part of the way you can see that is you can see, I don't know how the best way to word this, look for the emotional strength behind what people are saying as opposed to the just conviction. When you sense that somebody is very emotionally involved and you can feel that content, most of the time that's out of their own heart. Because they have a personal angst about the thing. They have a personal commitment to that above and beyond just because Yahweh said it. Not all the time. I'm saying a lot of the time you'll notice. You see that a lot with the calendar issues. You see that a lot with this Melchizedekian thing. You see a lot now with this flat earth thing. You see that the people that are doing the teachings are not just teaching it with authority in a kind of a straightforward, unemotionally driven way. You don't see that at all. You see people very emotional. They have it's important to them that you agree with them or because they'll be upset about it otherwise. And you see that by the response when people post something as a teaching like on Facebook, and then people then say, well, I don't really necessarily agree with you, and they get nasty back. And so we have to be careful because a lot of the teachers out there are very emotionally bound because it's out of their heart that they're teaching these issues. Now, I'm hoping that when I teach that I'm not doing this, that I'm trying to teach what's out of his heart to get you to be in line with his heart. And so I try to just pull out of it where he's trying to communicate to you and strengthen, because I can put a voice to it, his words so that it's in your hearing and it gains the strength from my being able to put sound to it, okay, and emphasis to it, and maybe connect other verses to it. But here he's saying, look, son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel who prophesy, and say to those who prophesy out of their own heart, hear the word of Yahweh. So saying, they're prophesying out of their own heart. And he's saying, look, no. Hear the word of Yahweh. Don't just prophesy out of your heart.